Why David's positive mindset paid off. David Okafor grew up in a one-room apartment in Surulere, Lagos. The zinc roof rattled loudly whenever the rain came, and the walls carried stains from years of leaking water. His father was a commercial bus driver. His mother sold akara by the roadside every morning before sunrise. Money was always tight. There were days when the family had to decide between buying kerosene or buying meat. School fees were paid late. Electricity was irregular. But in the middle of all that uncertainty, David carried something unusual, a stubborn, almost unreasonable positive mindset. Not fake happiness, not denial, but a deep belief that life could be better. And that belief changed everything. The beginning of a different mindset. When David was 16, his classmates would often complain, "Nothing good comes out of this country." One of them said, "If you don't have connections, forget it." Another added. But David would quietly respond, "Maybe, but somebody is winning. Why not us?" They laughed at him. But David had started reading books from an old second-hand bookshop near Yaba. He read about entrepreneurs who built businesses from nothing. He read about investors who turned small savings into wealth. He read about mindset. He realized something powerful. Your mindset is your first capital. While others saw scarcity, David trained himself to see possibility. While others saw problems, he asked, "Where is the opportunity inside this?" That shift would later become his financial turning point. Failure came first. After university, David didn't get a job immediately. Months passed. Rejection emails filled his inbox. "Unfortunately, we regret to inform you." Each rejection could have crushed him. And honestly, some days it almost did. One evening, his friend Tunda came over. "Guy, how far?" Tunda asked. "Any update?" David sighed. "Nothing yet." "So what's the plan?" "Maybe it's time to accept reality." David looked at him and smiled faintly. "What if this is reality pushing me towards something bigger?" Tunda shook his head. "You and this your positive talk." But David wasn't just talking. He was thinking strategically. Instead of waiting endlessly, he asked himself, "What skill do I have? What problem can I solve? What value can I offer?" He noticed many small businesses around him struggled with online marketing. Most didn't understand social media, branding, or customer retention. So David began learning digital marketing from free online resources. He practiced for hours daily. No pay, no applause, just belief. The first income. 3 months later, David approached a small fashion brand owner named Amarka. "I can help you increase your online sales," he said confidently. She raised an eyebrow. "With what experience?" "I don't have clients yet," he admitted honestly. "But give me 1 month. If sales don't improve, you don't pay me." It was bold. It was risky, but it was driven by belief. Amarka agreed. David created engaging content. He studied customer behavior. He responded quickly to inquiries. He ran small targeted ads with a tiny budget. By the end of the month, Amarka's sales doubled. She called him excitedly. "David, orders are coming in like crazy." That was his first paid client. And it all started because he chose optimism over self-pity. The power of perspective in finance. Most people think money problems are solved only with money. David discovered something different. Money problems are first solved with thinking. When he earned his first 80,000 from Amarka, he could have spent it celebrating. Instead, he asked, "How do I make this money produce more money?" That question came from mindset. He divided the money into 3 parts. Living expenses, reinvestment into ads and courses, savings. He didn't earn much yet, but he behaved like someone building wealth. Because positive mindset is not just about smiling. It's about long-term thinking. When things almost collapsed, 6 months into his small agency, things got tough. 2 clients stopped paying. Another paused services. Income dropped sharply. Fear crept in. One night, David sat alone in the dark room. What if they were right? He whispered to himself. What if this doesn't work? For the first time, doubt was louder than hope. But then he remembered something he once read. Your worst day does not define your destiny. He stood up. Instead of complaining, he analyzed. What went wrong? How can I improve my offer? How can I become more valuable? He realized he was focusing only on short-term campaigns. He needed to offer long-term brand strategy. So he upgraded his knowledge. He refined his services. He reached out to bigger businesses. 3 weeks later, he signed his biggest contract yet for 500 monthly. If he had given up during that dark week, that breakthrough would never have happened. Positive mindset doesn't remove problems. It gives you the strength to push through them. The shift from income to wealth. After 2 years, David was earning well, but he knew income alone doesn't create financial freedom. So he studied investing. He learned about stocks, real estate, business partnerships, passive income. He began small. He invested in Nigerian stocks consistently. He joined a cooperative real estate project. He reinvested profits into expanding his agency. Each move was calculated. Each move was fueled by belief. While many of his peers spent their increased income on flashy lifestyles, David focused on assets. "Why are you living like you're still broke?" one friend asked. He smiled. "I'm building something they can't see yet." Mindset during economic crisis. Then the economy tightened. Inflation rose. Costs increased. Many businesses struggled. Some of David's clients panicked. But David didn't panic. He asked, "How can we adapt?" He helped businesses adjust pricing strategies. He optimized marketing budgets. He focused on value creation rather than fear. Because positive mindset is not blind optimism. It is solution-focused thinking. And during crises, solutions make money. While others shrank, David's agency expanded. The compounding effect of positivity. What truly paid off wasn't just one good decision. It was years of choosing growth over blame, learning instead of complaining, investing instead of spending, acting instead of waiting. Mindset compounded. Confidence grew. Network expanded. Opportunities multiplied. By age 32, David had a thriving digital agency, investment portfolio generating returns, rental property income, multiple business partnerships. He wasn't an overnight success. He was a long-term thinker. The conversation that changed everything. One day, Tunda, the same friend who once doubted him, visited his office. He looked around in amazement. "David, how did you do all this?" David leaned back and said calmly, "I decided early that my circumstances would not control my thinking." Tunda nodded slowly. "You were always positive." "I thought it was just talk." "It wasn't talk," David replied. "It was discipline, because positivity is discipline. It is choosing empowering thoughts repeatedly, even when you don't feel like it." What his positive mindset really did. David's mindset paid off financially because it helped him see opportunities others ignored, take calculated risks without fear paralysis, persist through rejection and setbacks, think long-term instead of short-term, stay solution-focused during crisis, invest early and consistently, attract partnerships through confidence. Money follows value, value follows growth, growth follows mindset. The hidden financial advantage. Most people underestimate how expensive negativity is. Negativity costs time, energy, opportunities, relationships, confidence. David understood something powerful. Your mindset determines how long you stay stuck. Many people remain financially stagnant, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack belief. When you believe growth is possible, you act differently. When you act differently, results change. When results change, your financial story changes. The final lesson. Years later, David visited his parents. The one-room apartment was gone. He had moved them into a comfortable home. His mother stood in the living room, tears in her eyes. "God has been good," she whispered. David smiled. "Yes, and we never stopped believing." His journey proved something powerful. A positive mindset is not magic. It is not denial. It is not wishful thinking. It is the foundation of financial transformation. It helps you see opportunities, endure difficulty, make wise decisions, invest wisely, think strategically, build long-term wealth. And in the end, that mindset paid off not just in money, but in freedom, stability, and impact. Your turn. David's story is not just about him. It is about a principle. Your financial breakthrough begins in your thinking, not in your bank account, not in your background, not in your connections, in your thinking. Because once your mindset shifts from "I can't" to "How can I?" everything changes. And when you stay consistent long enough, your positive mindset will pay off too. Please subscribe, like, and share.